All right, everybody, welcome back. We are ready to deep dive today. And,
Mm-hmm.
we're always getting questions about what makes a university,
Right.
important.
Important, yeah.
And, some of you sent in some fascinating excerpts about Harvard and its global impact. And
Yeah.
it really got the wheels turning for this deep dive.
Yeah, for sure.
So are we ready to kind of explore
Let's do it.
if Harvard could be considered the most important university in the world?
I think so. I think these excerpts from Texcale, um, they're really interesting because they don't just list achievements. They really give a glimpse into what makes a university impactful, beyond just sort of prestige and rankings and things like that.
Absolutely. I mean, Harvard's been around
Yeah.
since 1636.
Wow.
Which makes it the oldest higher education institution in the U.S.
That's incredible.
It's a legacy that most universities could only dream of.
Right.
But I'm curious, does just being old automatically translate to important?
Yeah, that's a really great question. It's not just about age, it's about influence. And, Harvard really set the template for structured education in the US, laying the foundation for how we approach learning today. And that model has really rippled outward, shaping countless other universities. And honestly, I think our entire educational landscape.
Well, and speaking of influence, let's talk about its alumni.
Yeah.
We've got presidents, Nobel laureates, business giants.
It's a
It's a pretty staggering
a
list.
staggering list.
But what is it about Harvard that seems to produce these leaders?
Right.
Is there something special in the water over there?
Maybe not the water, but
Yeah.
there's definitely something to be said about Harvard's educational philosophy. It's not just about churning out specialists, it's about fostering a broad understanding of the world through their emphasis on liberal arts. And when you combine that with a focus on public service that's kind of woven into the curriculum, it cultivates a sense of responsibility and leadership. No wonder so many graduates end up tackling global issues.
Right. And it's not just accumulating knowledge, it's about using it
Exactly.
to make a difference.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Harvard's also renowned for its research.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're talking groundbreaking discoveries here.
Yeah, groundbreaking. It goes beyond just the sheer volume of research.
Okay.
Take, for example, their work in the field of genomics. The Personal Genome Project, spearheaded by Harvard geneticist George Church, aims to make personal genome sequencing accessible and understandable for everyone. It's really pushing boundaries not only scientifically, but ethically,
Yeah.
Prompting us to rethink our relationship with our own genetic information.
Wow, that's incredible. But this is all happening at a very high level.
Right.
How does all this research at Harvard actually translate into tangible impacts for everyday people?
Think about it this way. The development of CRISPR gene editing technology, which was pioneered in part by Harvard researchers, has the potential to revolutionize disease treatment, agriculture, and even our understanding of evolution. Those are real-world applications that could really reshape our future.
Okay, so the impact is huge, but it also seems very U.S.-centric.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Harvard attracts students and scholars from all over the world.
Yeah.
So how does that global perspective translate into something, well, global?
It's really interesting because it's like a constant influx and outflow of knowledge and perspectives. Take the Harvard Kennedy School, for example. They're training future policymakers and leaders from around the globe, people who will go on to grapple with issues that affect us all: climate change, global health, economic disparities. The ripple effects are massive.
So Harvard isn't just influencing the U.S. It's influencing the world through these future leaders.
Exactly.
And on the topic of access and influence, I know Harvard has made a big push for financial aid
They have.
to make education accessible to students from all walks of life. What does that look like in action?
So their financial aid program is need blind, meaning admission decisions are made without considering a student's ability to pay. And then for those who are admitted, they cover 100% of demonstrated financial need. And this, creates a more diverse and inclusive learning environment and hopefully, more equitable future.
I love that, a true commitment to leveling the playing field.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've covered a lot: history, academic philosophy,
we have.
research, global reach, accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
Harvard definitely seems to check a lot of boxes when it comes to being an important university.
It does.
But is it the most important?
It's certainly a strong contender, but as we said earlier, most important is subjective. There are other incredible institutions out there, each with their own unique strengths and contributions. Think about MIT with its focus on technological innovation, or Oxford's rich history of groundbreaking research in the humanities.
It's like comparing apples and oranges.
It really is.
But maybe the real question isn't about crowning a single winner.
Exactly. I think the real takeaway here is understanding what elements contribute to a university's impact and legacy, and that can vary depending on, what lens you're looking through.
So listener, here's something to consider. What factors would you use to define most important?
Right.
Is it groundbreaking research, global influence, commitment to accessibility?
Each university has its own personality and priorities. What resonates with you and your values? Which institutions inspire you? Those are the questions worth pondering.
And maybe, just maybe, this will inspire you to do your own deep dive into some of the amazing universities out there. Who knows what fascinating discoveries await? Thanks for joining us today. Keep those minds curious.
Absolutely.